Hello YouTubers. Right, before I start making this video, I'd like to say that I watch a lot of videos, some of them are 3-4 hours long. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of going through them or listening to what people are saying and finding things that, what people are saying and stuff, capturing police, attacking folk and, stuff like that, so people don't, because I know some people haven't got the time to go through like 4-hour videos, so I kind of get to the chunky bits, the best bits, and record them and then re-release them. So I hope that Rason Kalizuki, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, I think he's from Sweden. Anyway, this guy's been doing quite a few good videos, what's going on around the world, basically travelling around the world. Yeah, I think this is probably the best clip ever I've seen since all these lockdown measures and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to play you this video, man. Just going to play this video. Whoa, it's crazy, but bang on right what this woman's saying. Anyway, off we go.
I'm independent media.
Yeah. Yes. Did you be watching the rally?
I followed the rally. Police was trying to arrest me.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
Okay, hello people. My name is Mandy Morgan. I was part of the rally today. It's the fifth one I've been to. I have never seen the force come out, the police come out in such force as they did today. I mean, they came out meaning trouble, and I witnessed scenes of such brutality I never thought
Have you been on the King Cross since the beginning?
Right. Okay, I never thought I would see this sort of brutality on the streets of England. This is meant to be a free country, a democracy. I mean, it is rapidly deteriorating into something akin to Nazi Germany. These comparisons are being made all the time when people keep saying, you're conspiracists, you're lunatics. It's not true. You know, lockdowns do kill. That is a fact. The World Health Organization have advised against these lockdowns themselves. They issued a warning, perhaps just a week ago, 2 weeks ago at the most, where they actually said the most alarming things, including the fact that world poverty had doubled in 6 months. Children around the world, the amount of children that are suffering from malnutrition has doubled. Both the lockdowns that we've gone into lockdown after deaths and infections have begun to fall. I mean, this is clearly unjustified. It's wrong. It's morally wrong. I don't know how, Boris Johnson, to be truthful, can look at himself in the mirror. I don't know how he manages to look at himself in the mirror, because he's a liar, and frankly, he's a traitor. He's betraying his own people. The man likes to compare himself with Winston Churchill. Some people have mocked that and said, I wouldn't compare him to Neville Chamberlain. Well, I wouldn't compare him to Neville Chamberlain's wet nurse, because somebody has clearly got to Boris Johnson, and he has changed. He's not the man that we thought we'd elected. He's certainly not representing the people. Masks have been shown conclusively to be ineffective. There was a study released from Denmark just a week ago, which was peer-reviewed and published in many scientific journals, which clearly stated that masks were ineffective. That study has been buried. It was largely ignored by the media in this country, and it has been buried. When Professor Mike Yeadon, who used to be the head of Pfizer, one of the companies currently producing a vaccine, as if you needed any better credentials than that, when that man shared that post on his Facebook post, it was taken down within a couple of hours. When the Daily Mail released an article just last weekend, I think it was entitled something like Things You Ought to Know, where they actually published genuine statistics.
Numbers of factual.
Exactly. The government denounced that and said that it was rubbish, false information, misinformation, disinformation, whatever they care to call it these days. And the Daily Mail, kudos to them, actually challenged that writ by the Tory party. And what happened? Boris Johnson and co took down their complaint. They never issued an apology, but they took down their complaint, which, to my mind, is tantamount to a confession that actually the Daily Mail were right, and we are being lied to. Masks do not work. The science says that the coronavirus is 0.1 of a micron in size. That is 3 times smaller than anything an N95 mask can block. The blue mask, the surgical mask, which people are wearing all day long every day, all around the country, does absolutely nothing. You're exhaling and then rebreathing your own waste. If you do happen to have COVID or any kind of flu-like virus, if you were to cough or sneeze, it will escape through the sides, top and the bottom, as well as through the middle. And being an aerosol disease, it will drift on the air and be carried upwards of 20 feet. Which means the whole thing to do with social distancing also is laughably inadequate. It's ridiculous. This is patently not about a virus.
What would you say in that show that so many people in the park and they're not protesting? Why do you think is that?
No, I think the protest has gone somewhere else now.
No, but why there is such apathy? That's my question.
Well, I don't think there's such apathy. I just think that today wasn't very well organised. There was no focal point, there was no main speaker, and the police were out in force. They were out in large numbers. When I arrived and I came through Marble Arch, they were already gathered there in significant numbers, and they meant business. Within 10 minutes, I saw people being thrown to the floor and beaten. And as I say, I was part of a rally in Basildon just last week. A rally I didn't organise. I had nothing to do with the organisation, but I'm very proud to have been part of. And I was arrested, and I was thrown in a cell for 9 hours, and my phone was seized, which is now apparently being subjected to a deep forensic search. Under the powers that were brought in by Theresa May to do with terrorism. You know, we live in a country now, we live in a surveillance state. We're being observed 24/7. I'm talking about innocent, law-abiding, hard-working citizens who still think it's a good thing to be British.
Will they return your goods?
I have no idea. My friend here says that one of his friends had their phone confiscated and didn't get it back for a year. I've had other friends say they didn't get it back for several months at a time. There's no evidence on there of me doing anything because I haven't done anything. All I did was speak, and I spoke on behalf of fellow citizens who are alarmed, frankly, at the erosion of their rights and of their freedom, which is, as I say, something comparable to either, you know, Soviet Russia, Communist China, or Nazi Germany. People never thought this would happen in this country. And unfortunately, your point is correct. We have been too apathetic. We've been too complacent. There is an old saying which says the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And never has anything rang more true, because we took our eye off the ball for a long time, and now look at where we are. This is a globalist agenda. This is absolutely about the Great Reset, as Klaus Schwab likes to refer to it, the man who sees it as a wonderful opportunity to advance the initiatives of the World Economic Forum, while people are dying as a result of this lockdown, while people are losing their jobs, they're going bankrupt, they can't pay their mortgages, they can't feed their children. Klaus Schwab and co. see that as a wonderful opportunity. Justin Trudeau sees it as a wonderful opportunity. And people like Boris Johnson are singing off exactly the same hymn sheet, regardless of their politics. It doesn't matter whether they're Liberal, Democrat, Tory or Labour. They're all using the same slogan, build back better. Well, they're not building anything back better. They are destroying the economy and they are killing people. And that's a fact.
Yeah, I watch you all the time.
Oh, you do? So he has an audience.
Yeah, he's
wonderful.
well known.
Well, I hope
Brilliant.
this gets out to as many people
What's your
as
channel?
possible. And I hope you people watching this listen to what I just said, consider it, and next time when we have a rally, you come out and join us, because the only way we're going to defeat this dictatorship, that's what it is with numbers. We need numbers. I'm not asking anybody to get violent. I don't want anybody to break the law. I just want people to use their God-given right to civilly disobey. You know, to follow your hearts and listen to that voice inside you, which I know many people are experiencing right now, that's telling them this is about more than just the virus. It is. It's not about the virus. The Public Health England admitted just a week ago that half the country's immune. And all of this nonsense has been based on a PCR test which has been proven categorically, time and time again, is false.
Did you notice that change of wording? So first we had 2 weeks flatten the curve, then first lockdown, then lockdown 2. Then they admitted that their data, when they said 4,000 deaths a day, were completely
Yes.
wrong within a week, but they kept lockdown. Now they're saying no lockdown, but tier 3 restriction on 99% of country, and they're already saying January lockdown number 3. They're just normalizing.
Number 3 is going to kill this country.
But they're just normalizing this. They're not even giving valid reason for this.
Because it's totally unreasonable. It's totally irrational. I mean, this is unprecedented. It's never been done before in history. You don't lock up healthy people along with sick people. And another thing, you talk about, you know, the wording. They changed the meaning of the word pandemic. Pandemic used to mean a high incidence of deaths. It now simply means a high incidence of infection.
And even we don't know what this infection with this PCR test, because we don't know what is finding.
Exactly.
And I just came back from Sweden, and they got choice. People are there; they're also petrified, so it's not all good there. But shops are kept open. It's your choice whether you will be frightened and you hide in a cellar, where you will wear a mask, or you will go out and you will do your own business.
This is one of the most horrendous aspects of this entire thing. Is like since day one, it's been about fear. They have had people terrified. That's never happened before in our history. When we had bombs dropped on us in the Second World War, people were told to stay calm and not panic. A flu
Keep
virus
calm and
comes
carry
along,
on.
and it's like be terrified. You know, suspect your neighbours. You know, inform on your neighbours. This is like Stasi Germany. This is just not. What a politician the other day, Charles Walker, stood up in Parliament and said this is not British. It emphatically is not British. It is not democratic.
But look,
this is not a free country.
They voted for this, so it's very hypocritical of him. So he's getting minutes now of exposure, free media, but then he voted for this. What he done?
I know. So many of them stood up and said that they were going to oppose this, and when the moment came and they had their chance,
they voted. You know this.
Steve Baker was another one.
Yeah.
I really had high hopes for Steve Baker. He seemed so vocal about his opposition, and then he did nothing. But opposition, we talk about that. There is no opposition. No. This is a one-party state now. That's it. It's a surveillance state. 24/7 cameras watching us, and that's not enough apparently for these globalists. They want to monitor every single thing we do for the rest of our lives. They want to micromanage everything we do. Klaus Schwab, and you can check this out, in his book, COVID-19, The Great Reset, that man is talking about brain implants. I mean, that's off the fucking charts. That's insane. He wants to monitor people for their prospective threat that they might pose to any country that they're travelling to. So they're going to be assessed for their terrorist threat. I mean, this is treating every single individual person as a criminal. That's the country we now live in, where everybody is treated as a potential criminal. When the only criminals are the people who are running our country. Our government is now effectively a criminal organisation.
I've just witnessed it, and I recorded this arrest in front of kids' playground, you know, with kids aged 3 or 5 watching. It's just like really haunting. I don't have words.
No, it's beyond words. It leaves me speechless sometimes, and that's something I can tell you, because I'm not normally speechless. But I've witnessed some things today I never thought I'd see in my life. I mean, look at these vans flying past right now. You would think that we were suffering some sort of terrorist attack. Yes, we were at war. Exactly. Well put.
Yes, you can see lights. Yeah, that's. Is that Speaker's Corner that way, or where is that?
Where's Speaker's Corner?
I think people are rerouting.
I feel like it's that way.
Yeah,
I think it's that way.
People are rerouting to Speaker's Corner.
Okay. Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I really do appreciate it, and I hope this gets out to lots of good listeners. And
people were asking, where can they find you?
Mandy Rose Morgan. I do have a page on Facebook, and there's a couple of videos I've uploaded. I mean, like most of you, I was just happily living my life a few months ago. I wasn't particularly political. I was a bit incensed about some of the injustices I was seeing with regards to Brexit. I did resent the fact that politicians and very wealthy, sort of elite type people were referring to people who voted to Brexit as thick and racist, and I really didn't agree with that. And I think that's probably where the catalyst was for me, because I started to take a lot of notice of what was going on. I thought that was unfair. And I have been witnessing the polarisation of this country. I've sort of been paying a lot of attention to that. And the division, you know, the way our governments have deliberately divided us along sex and gender lines. And I didn't understand any of it. Probably like most of you, I thought, this is insane, the country's going mad. And then before long, we had COVID, and suddenly it tipped over completely into the realms of insanity. And that's where we are today, where innocent people are being, you know, seized in the street, thrown to the floor, beaten, and just brutally assaulted by the people that are employed to protect and serve us. And I mean, that's insane. Everything about this is insane. If any of the policies that our government had implemented were worth implementing and they worked at all, we wouldn't be where we are right now. But this is almost a year down the line from what was going to be originally a 15-day flattening of the curve. I think that's what they were saying, 2 weeks or something like that to flatten the curve. And look at what it's turned into. And there's no sign of this ever letting up. It's unrelenting. What's his name from the World Health Organization? Tedros, I think that's his name, Tedros Adhanom, is that his name? Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. I may have mispronounced his name, forgive me if I have, that's not intentional. But,
let's go to Speaker's Corner this slide.
Okay, I just want to finish on one last thing. He was interviewed just the other week, and he said people are labouring under a misapprehension. I want you all to take notice of this, because this is the future. He said, people seem to be thinking that once the vaccine's been introduced, things will go back to normal. Things will never go back to normal. We will have the vaccine, we will still be expected to wear masks, we will still be asked to socially distance, and we will still be plunged into absolutely catastrophic fucking lockdowns which ruin and destroy people's lives. And as I said before, this is unparalleled, unprecedented, and completely unjustified. I am shocked and I'm ashamed of what's going on in my country. Mandy Rose Morgan, please do say hello. Take care. Bye, everybody.
You'll find me on Facebook. Just drop me.
I'll tell you what, Mandy, what a star, because everything that I think about this system, everything I've experienced with myself growing up within the system, from a child to being a teenager, all the things I've seen with the court cases and all the corruption and bentness and how they've hidden paedophilia, religious paedophilia circles, running kids' homes, all sorts of stuff I've witnessed in my life, and the injustices in the courtrooms have been unreal. And that lady, Mandy, has seriously summed it all up for me, mate. I mean, all the things I've seen, and people speaking out and stuff like that, that's probably the best speech I've ever heard. Nice one, Mandy Rose Morgan. Okay, over and out, YouTube. Oh, I'd just like to say as well, thanks a lot for this guy, man, who's relentlessly walking about and interviewing different people and talking to different folk and catching different scenes. What a guy. Thanks for you as well, mate. Keep good work up, all of you. We can't stand down. We need to stand up to this. We can't sit down and watch this carry on like this. I hope it wakes some people up, this video. Over and out.